Here comes Dan again. Dan Cunningham. He's saying, hey, I believe it's going to blow over if we just kind of wait it out a little bit here. He's probably wanting to know if they should put any stuff on the field for the footing. There the guys are. They're ready to go.
And if they were really, really ready to go, they would not be in the camera bay. They would be behind the tarp on the left field side.
Yeah, if it was anything that was supposed to last. No sign of using that baby.
Low to Robinson Cano. Remember that game? Of course, I know you guys remember this, but the game at Kauffman Stadium where it rained, and then we had sleet and snow, and the infield looked like a small lake.
It did.
And we almost got that game in, and now we'll have to make it up with Tampa Bay. 1-1 on Cano. It's interesting talking to the players and head groundskeeper Trevor Vance. And as bad as it looked, the dirt that the Royals use at home is a harder dirt, so we could see the water glistening under the lights, but it was still pretty solid, where some infield dirts are softer, and then you worried about it turning into mud.
Yeah.
And it could, the way that they're playing through this HUD might have a lot to do with the type of dirt that they have on the infield.
Yeah, most of it's clay. And clay sets. Now, they probably, Cano probably said something about his footing here. So, all right, yeah, come on out. And let's make it safe for the players. And that's Dana DeBue's call. He's the crew chief. He's in charge of that. And Guthrie, you know, he's like, gosh, are you kidding me? Another delay in one of my starts. So Guthrie, when they had the light delay, he stayed out on the mound. And I'm thinking that didn't work out too well because he stayed out there and just waited for the 10-minute delay or however long it was. He needs to go back in and sit down if there's going to be any link to this right here. But he knows himself.
So here's that game you were talking about in early May when the Royals had rain, sleet, snow, and that was now, it took something like that. Elliott Johnson sliding in with his knee to kick the dirt up, but as much rain as we got, and we've got players out there with their phones taking pictures and recording snow in early May. Very cold day, obviously, and now it begins to rain harder again here, but most people were saying that the quality of the infield was not bad. It looked bad. Now, of course, that doesn't look good, and this doesn't look good.
Hey, Ryan, we'll say this much about that grounds crew. They just moved faster in 2 minutes. Might have got done more in 2 minutes than what we saw earlier this year in St. Louis.
For sure.
I'm going to tell you something now. Trevor Vance would have never let this happen. He would have had his guys out there putting that tarp on before there was any moisture at all on that infield. These guys, I'm going to give them a D for not being ready.
But I'll tell you what, I was just looking at the radar. I mean, we saw the sun bouncing off the buildings right beyond the stadium. There's some heavy cells right in the area, but there's not much otherwise.
But I'm just telling you, going on what I'm seeing in this field, and with this type of downpour, it's going to affect the field. They weren't ready.
If this doesn't turn out to be a 1-hour rain delay, I'll be surprised for that reason. Look at all the water that infield has taken on.
Well, I wondered, there's no one near the tarp. You know, they must not expect this to last, but, you know, groundskeeper's supposed to be all over that weather.
Look at that.
That's going to affect the game.
And let's not forget, too, that the groundskeeper's going to say what he says, but ultimately it is going to be the call of the crew chief.
Okay.
And I've heard things before of certain crew chiefs that wait longer than what the grounds crew tells them, and then this happens. So who knows, you know, what Dana DeBue said, what their head groundskeeper said. The groundskeeper is supposed to come out there and give all the information. It is the umpire's call, though, of when to bring that tarp on the field.
I agree. We can talk about the ifs and what he would have done, but I'm telling you, this type of rain and downpour has affected the field.
And now they can't get the tarp on the field.
Yeah, they can't even pull it on.
And they're hearing it from the crowd.
Yeah, and that first base section over there where Hosmer has to play, that is underwater.
Hey, look at the guy in dress pants and dress shirt down there. And it is stuck, and the crowd is letting them hear about it.
Wow.
They're in trouble. They can't pull it. There's too much moisture on the tarp. Oh, those guys need to start doing some push-ups. Get a little stronger, and the tarp's not budging either.
And I'll bet as soon as they get it on, it'll stop raining.
It's already slowing down, Ryan.
This is a beautiful thing to laugh at, but it's not for the players.
It's not for the grounds crew right now.
No, it's not.
Oh, man.
And look at him. They're going. He's running in place. They're going nowhere.
Well, it has almost stopped, which is good news because I don't think that tarp was going anywhere.
Oh, gosh. Look at this poor guy.
Pull it off.
Poor Dan. He's saying, back it up.
And a huge ovation.
Now, for the grounds crew, that's their job. But for the guy, the unidentified man on the far left side of the tarp who just came running out of the dugout in a dress shirt, khaki pants, and dress shoes, there he is. That guy just appeared out of nowhere.
You know,
he's due a promotion.
If George Steinbrenner were here watching this,
That guy would be a vice president tomorrow.
yeah, you would hope, and you would hope that no one got in trouble. But George would not be happy.
Look at the other side of the tarp right now.
See those eyes peering in? That's an intense individual and a great owner in George Steinbrenner. And he was very controlling. If he saw something like this on his field,
Oh, boy, here we go.
Someone would have to pay. Now the wind's getting up under the tarp. It's becoming a big
The
balloon.
opposite side of the tarp.
They could play the game now underneath
A parachute
that
game.
bubble in the tarp.
They got an opening, a big opening. Ryan, I bet Micah, your son Micah, would love to go running underneath there.
Yes, he would. Wow.
So they're going to have to do a lot of work on that infield before this one gets going again.
And as soon as they pull it off, it starts raining again. This is a head groundskeeper's nightmare, literally.
So they had to take the tarp off to dump the water because they couldn't move the tarp. So now they're going to try it again. To a Bronx cheer.
I don't know if that's a cheer or a jeer, Hud. I think it's both.
Well, you hear those with regularity here.
What the guy say to you when you were young, walking out with Randolph?
Hey, you'll never take Randolph's job. You're a bum.
Well, let's hope that's the loudest ovation from the fans here at Yankee Stadium tonight, getting the tarp on the field. If so, it'll be a good night for the Royals. But this guy, can we name that guy our fourth player of the game right now?
Just, it's possible.
Coming, not,
Yeah.
But look, the Royals need this game. Yeah, this is bringing back memories of the Cardinal game. They got to have this. It's not a complete game unless it's been played 5 innings. So you wonder how long this is going to take. And this was just supposed to be passing by. Look at Dan. He's exhausted already. He's going, oh, you're right, Ryan. My worst nightmare.
somebody told him that this rain was going to pass and it wasn't going to be a problem. So, and we saw him on the cell phone. So he was on the phone with somebody. Normally, it's a meteorologist, maybe somebody with the National Weather Service in particular. And they played through it, and it seemed like the right decision when the rain stopped.
We've bragged all year long, Ryan, about our groundskeeper, Trevor Vance, and his great crew. All year with all the weather we've had. And now fans can appreciate how good they really are, our guys.
I got info on the guy in the purple dress shirt. It's Doug Behar, the Vice President of Stadium Operations.
Okay, so
And
he's
as it was
already a
pointed
vice
out-
president.
Yeah, unless you want to make him an owner or the president. I was told that he is the top dog when it comes to stadium operations.
Okay.
He is their version, I'm assuming, of Bob Rice, who we have back at Kauffman Stadium.
Well, Bob, if you're watching tonight,
Don't
the
do that to
bar
Bob.
has been raised on you.
Yeah, no pressure, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Trevor's gang is going to need help like that. I've never seen that before. But anyway, he's on the phone with somebody. Somebody is telling him that they're going to be okay. And for a while, it looked like it was the right call. And so Dana DeMuth tells the grounds crew to come on the field, not to put the tarp on, but to come on the field and work on the mound in the area around home plate, both of which are clay, different from dirt, need a little extra work. And then the rain really started coming down, and by the time they could get the tarp unrolled, the rain, with its weight, holding the tarp down and keeping them from putting the tarp on the field. And so they then decided to take the tarp off as it stopped raining again, and when they got the tarp off the field, it began to rain again. There is a lot of water on the infield dirt.
Ryan, let's take this a step further from a baseball standpoint, because we all know there comes a certain point in a long delay where a starter can't come back. And, you know, probably the biggest reason why the Royals made the move for Lewis Coleman today was because Chen wouldn't be available.